Hello, and welcome back to Intro to DoubleClick Rich Media QA. Today, I'll walk you through how to QA from within the DoubleClick Studio UI using the Output console. By the end of this session, this is what I hope you know. I'll begin by briefly explaining how to navigate within the DoubleClick Studio Web UI, and then I'll show you how to operate both the Creative Properties and Output console in the Preview tab. We will begin in the Creatives tab, where you can practice the QA process. I'll demonstrate using this practice creative. Since your account is not yet QA certified, you won't be able to access the QA console. However, you can still access most of the QA tools in Preview. If you've previously developed and published a creative, you should already be familiar with this step. To continue, click Step 4, Preview. We are now in the Previews tab, which you will use to practice the QA process. There are two panels that you will use to QA, the Creative Properties and the Output console. Let's begin by examining the properties of the creative. Click on Creative Properties. Here, you'll see a summary of the creative, including its dimensions and the names of the account, campaign, and advertiser. Click Files to continue. Here, you'll find the dimensions and size of each file. This will be useful when checking your creative for specs and LCDs issues. You'll also see which components are a part of the creative. These two icons indicate that the creative has polite loading functionality and contains the advanced video player component. To continue, click on Events. In this tab, you'll find a list of the creative's custom exits, counters, and timers. And last, click on the In-Page tab. Here, you'll find the dimensions and the window mode of the creative. To continue, close the Creative Properties by clicking the X. Now, I will demonstrate how to use the Output console. The Output console allows you to see which events fire when the creative plays and double-check that the creative is tracking properly. It is broken down into three parts: the events summary, where you can filter events, followed by the area that shows you what type of event is firing and how many times it is fired, and next the event log that shows you a timeline of when events occurred. To make tracking easier, you can filter an event by its name. If we enter the name Video, you will notice that any event with the name Video appears in the event summary. You can also filter by type. This way, you can view all events, the standard DoubleClick events, or the custom events that were added to the creative. When I remove the video filter and click on Standard under the Type filter, only DoubleClick standard timers and counters will show. The second filter feature, Show, allows you to filter by whether an event has triggered or not. This can display all events, only events that have fired in the preview, or only events that have not yet triggered. If I remove the standard filter and select Triggered, you will notice that only triggered events show. Any event that is triggered will be highlighted in light green. That's the gist of QAing in Preview. Now, let's take a quick look at the QA tab. Where a creative can be approved. This is why you'll notice the addition of the Approve and Reject buttons above the creative. To the left of the creative, you'll notice another row of new notification buttons that allow you to submit the creative directly to publishers and traffickers. That concludes the lesson on how to operate within the Studio UI using the creative properties and output console. In the next video, I'll teach you how to test for Studio events such as timers, counters, and exits.